Pontius Pilate is a figure whose name has become deeply embedded in world history because of a single decision. Appointed prefect of Judea by Emperor Tiberius, he found himself at the heart of the dramatic events that led to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Although he made a symbolic gesture by washing his hands to reject responsibility, Pilate forever linked his name to one of the most significant moments in Christian tradition. Archaeology confirms that Pilate was a real historical figure. In 1961, a stone slab inscribed with Latin text mentioning Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea, was discovered in Caesarea Maritima. This find became a crucial piece of evidence supporting the historical accuracy of the Gospel accounts. In the early 1st century, Judea was under Roman control. Though formally a client province, it was effectively governed directly from Rome. Pilate took office in 26 AD and held it for around 10 years. An unusually long term for a Roman provincial administrator. Emperor Tiberius believed that it was better to leave officials in place, comparing them to bees. Once they've drunk their fill of blood, they sting less often than fresh, hungry ones. Pilate's origins remain a subject of debate. His name may be derived from the Latin pileus, a felt cap symbol of a freed slave, or pilatus, armed with a javelin. Some scholars associate him with the Pontii, a family from the northeastern region of Asia Minor. Despite his likely humble background, Pilate rose to a high post, a testament to his political skills or influential connections. His official residence was Caesarea Maritima, a lavish port city built by Herod the Great, with theaters, palaces, and aqueducts. Pilate only traveled to Jerusalem during major festivals when unrest was more likely. There, he stayed in the Praetorium, formerly Herod's palace and later the seat of Roman governance. Historical sources describe Pilate as a harsh and violent administrator. Philo of Alexandria portrays him as prone to arbitrary actions, bribery, and executions without trial. Josephus mentions frequent clashes with the local population, including a scandal over using temple funds to build an aqueduct, and another, caused by bringing imperial standards into the city, a move deeply offensive to Jewish religious sentiment. Against this backdrop unfolded the trial of Jesus. According to the Gospels, Pilate found no fault in him and tried to release him as part of the Privilegium Paschale, the custom of pardoning one prisoner at Passover. However, facing mounting pressure from religious leaders and the crowd, he eventually gave in. That decision defined both his career and his place in history. An intriguing element of the story is Pilate's wife, mentioned only in the Gospel of Matthew. She warns him about a troubling dream concerning Jesus and urges him to have nothing to do with that righteous man. Later Christian tradition gave her a name, Claudia Procula, and suggested she may have been linked to the imperial family, possibly as a granddaughter of Tiberius. Legends claim she secretly converted to Christianity and may have even safeguarded sacred relics such as the Shroud of Turin. After the events in Jerusalem, Pilate was dismissed in 36 AD. The trigger was his brutal suppression of a Samaritan religious gathering at Mount Gerizim, which he believed to be a revolt. The Samaritans appealed to the Syrian legate Vitellius, who sent Pilate to Rome to justify his actions. Tiberius died in 37 AD before Pilate arrived, and the prefect vanishes from official records. Numerous theories exist about his fate. Eusebius of Caesarea claims Pilate was exiled to Gaul and committed suicide out of despair. Another account says he was executed on Emperor Caligula's orders. Medieval legends describe his body being thrown into the Tiber, where it caused violent storms. It supposedly drifted across Europe through the Rhone River and Lake Geneva before being buried at the foot of a mountain now called Pilatus. Folklore claims his ghost rises from the water every Good Friday. In some apocryphal texts from the 3rd and 4th centuries, Pilate is portrayed very differently, as a repentant man who secretly followed Jesus. In the Acts of Pilate and the Paradosis Pilati, he sends a letter to the emperor recounting Christ's miracles and acknowledging him as righteous. Though not recognized as canonical, these texts reflect an early Christian attempt to reimagine Pilate not as a villain, but as a conflicted and even tragic figure. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church venerates Pontius Pilate as a saint, celebrating his feast day on June 25th. The Coptic Church also canonized both him and his wife. In the Western tradition, he remains a symbol of wavering authority, someone who failed to act on his conscience. His question, "What is truth?" became a lasting expression of philosophical skepticism. Pilate's image has inspired countless works of art and literature. In Bulgakov's The Master and Margarita, he is a tormented man, haunted by guilt. In Jesus Christ Superstar, he is filled with doubt. Anatole France portrayed him as an old man who no longer remembers who Jesus was, a piercing metaphor for how those in power often forget the consequences of their decisions. Pontius Pilate is more than a character in a sacred drama. He represents an enduring ethical dilemma, the conflict between moral conviction and political expediency, between personal conscience and state duty. He was neither a hero nor a monster. He was a man who made a choice, one that continues to echo through the centuries.